Hey guys, how's it going? I'm playing around with bikes some. Picked up some other Victims. Check this one out. It's a kind of that same genre between 2000, I believe it's 2004 and 2006. They started coming out with some like repop Schwinn different style bikes. This one is a Schwinn Manta Ray, and that one's unusual. It's they're much harder to find than these are the more popular ones, and these were the OCC Schwinn style bikes. And so I started looking at that one and was going to modify it, and I started thinking I have more of these to play with. So I went back to thinking if there's something I could do with these. So they're kind of meant for like preteen and teens, you know, smaller, like 5 foot tall kind of style. So they're kind of stubby and short for myself. So I was thinking possibly maybe I can try and remedy that. And so there's another frame that I bastardized for parts when I built the trike. And I'm gonna start stacking some pieces together and see if there's a way to try and stretch this out so that it can be a longer frame and just more of a larger person's size, you know. What's nice about them is they have a nice big fat back tire. It's a 4 1/4 inch wide tire on, I believe, a 20-inch rim. So it gives you a nice beefy component to start with. Here's another one too. This is another yard sale find, and this is also again from that same genre. This is more the balloon tire style bike that was a Schwinn repop of a again a balloon tire bike, and it also has a Springer front end on it. So kind of playing with the motor on that one, see how that would fit. But this seems to be more my interest, so I'm going to start playing with this and see where we go. Alright, so I cut a little bit away on the silver one, just so I can kind of stack the one frame on the other one. I think I want to go with, I'm trying to figure out like what line I want to try to go with. You want to try to maintain the top line or the bottom line or whatnot, you know. So as of right now, I'm thinking I might try to make that bottom one just go straight across. So I'll cut the rear arch that holds the rear wheel, cut it right at that point where the single pipe is down below, and attach it to that single pipe. Give the bottom one straight line, and you know, kick in that wheelbase probably, I don't know, about a foot. Take about a foot out of the middle of that. And I'm not sure on the top yet, so I've been staring at it for a while, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to start cutting and then figure it out from there. I might just leave the slide that whole top, because the whole thing's got to come forward. Basically, you got two V's going together, you know. So one's got a hijack high or low on the one in front. But I'm thinking I might take where that imitation gas tank is and slide it right up to where the other one is, and just make a straight line underneath it. Follow me? See where the S is and the S is? At the bottom of that section. Pull that the bike forward and have that go straight across. I'm starting to think something like that, which will, you know, of course I gotta cut out of that back piece. But that's why they call them choppers. All right, I'm gonna start cutting something. All right, so I cut off the blue rear hoop there, and I was able to get a better visual on it. That's what I was talking about with the line underneath the tanks. Being a straight line and maybe hollowing out the center. I think that center pipe out or not, I don't know. First of all, if I leave it like that, I'll leave the middle in and weld it first so that everything kind of tries to help keep itself square. But if I find I need to use it for something, I might leave it. Like the double kickstands, I might leave that. I think all the wheels will be off the ground then. So I don't know. I think I'm going to start. What should I do next? Probably just fitting it. See that top? Make that so it kind of start whittling this away in here, so that it'll scab over the top tube. The other thing that I can do is take it, cut this out, and take this and relocate this over that line and run back too. So if I was to take that top tank, cut out down below, and just slide that whole assembly down to follow that line, grab a lower. Problem is you don't want to cut it and then say, oh no, that's not what I want to do. You know, stick it there. So you got to kind of think about it in your mind. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll reposition it so that that's sitting there. Okay, it's still too long though. I'll stick it there and turn the camera back on. Alright, so I decided to leave it right where it was, and so I took them apart and made them so they would fit together better, and clean up all the areas that are going to get welded, as you can see. And I clamped them down, and then what I'm going to do is after I get it tacked in a couple spots, I'm going to just tap these down so that I close those gaps up. And on the bottom I made a sleeve, slid it over the one. I got it together and then slid it back, and wherever this needed to be a straight line is how the sleeve is going to work. I'm liking it. I'm going to build like this time like the bike part, and then maybe get it going as a bike. If I'm going to stop there and then move further at a later time, or I just may keep on going, but we'll see. And I'm thinking those two Echo back black blower motors will look cool on that, one in the front, one in the rear, and just have them tied together. And it'll be, think twice on everything. It'll be named for it. Think twice. Alright. Enough yapping, we'll start tacking. And those would be my engine victims. I'm going to start whittling those away and see how small we can get those packages. So I was getting ahead of myself, so I figured I'd go grab the camera, and that's the aftermath of trying to dig out a couple of motors. Those were a couple of leaf blowers, and pesticide blowers. That's why they got the hoppers on top, and they kind of sucked as a leaf blower because they didn't have enough balls. That's the fan that was in them, to give you an idea. Anyway, so I stripped those motors down, and this is kind of like what we're looking for in the frame layout, and just trying to get myself some ideas, and I kind of kept going without you. So I popped the motors back in there so you can see what I see. Amzi's Corner dropped off. He's a local YouTuber. He had dropped me off a set of a bunch of hardware and these set of pulleys. So we do this without thrashing the motors to give you an idea. Those are off of a Saab 9000. Those are the time and chain gears, and here's the chain for it. So they're actually kind of meant for some high RPM, although they're supposed to be encased in oil. But I figured that can kind of tie the two motors together, and I was trying to figure out how to get a sprocket in between here, a pulley rather, to exit out the back. And I started deciding that that might not be my best option. So I started looking over to the other side, and what you got here is, I took the pull start off, and that's what's internally inside there. And there's the points and all to drive the coil on the other side. I can get rid of the points and condenser and possibly run spark off of one motor, and pull start would just be the one pull start would start both motors at the same time, but I'm not sure. So now I'm kind of playing around with how to get a pulley on this side and lock it down. So that's what I'm working on right now. And grabbed a bunch of pulleys and pieces and parts, and what I have right now is this steel pulley, and it's got a lock screw on it. Plus I could actually weld it right to a hub. But I'm trying to figure out if I can make this thread onto that, or drill threads onto that and have it go right back on. But my only feeling is, if this is driving the wheel, it's going to want to unthread itself either under throttle, or when you brake, it's going to want to spin right back off the threads again. So I have to make some kind of way of locking it, or if I can make it skinny enough where I can still get that on there, and then put a nut on the back side of it and kind of jam nut it on there, or go right through it and run a set screw through down into the threads. So that's where I am right now. But I think it's lunchtime, and we'll figure it out when I get back.